What's up, everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer. And we are here with yet another McFarlane Demon Slayer figure here. And we are and of course, due to the fact that Demon Slayer is my daughter's current favorite anime, though she is working through My Hero now, let me tell you. Once again, we have the Simulated Daughter Program Director software going on. So if I mess things up, you might hear a simulated version of my daughter shouting out. Don't worry, YouTube, I do not have a 10-year-old on here. So if I mess things up, instead of saying things like Tanjiro Kamado, you'll hear something like that. Don't you love AI? Hope the Screen Actors Guild don't get their hands on that software. I totally killed that joke. But anyway, Tanjiro, of course, is in your box. We did look at the Nezuko figure previously. Somewhere up here. I'll put a little card there to it. And it wasn't my favorite figure, I'll be honest. So, let's see if Tanjiro here is a step up from her. But, got him in the box. Not even a picture of the figure. It's just a picture of him from the anime. And so, yeah. Let's get him out and take a look. Okay, so we're back, and got Tanjiro out of the packaging. Things I will definitely more so far, at least more positives with him than Nezuko. I'll absolutely say that. So this is a better figure than her. Still trying to determine if this is a good figure or not. Of course, it does come with your standard McFarlane stand. Comes with 2 extra hands that are fists, which I honestly don't think he needs. To be honest, I don't think he needed these at all. I think this was a wasted part count that could have been spent for other things. As you can see, I've got him in a pose here without the stand, so that's actually something very nice. But we'll go ahead and take these out. I barely got him holding that katana in 2 hands. We'll talk about that.
It's a sword.
A katana means sword in Japanese. He has this effect part, and we'll talk about this. But first we'll talk about his katana, his Demon Slayer sword. It is really well painted, actually. Zoom in. I like the fact he's got the inlay painted on here, and the blade itself. I don't know if it's a silver plastic with a black coat, or if it's a black plastic with a little bit of silver down here on the hilts. But this is actually one of the nicest swords I've seen come out in a while, and this is so much nicer than, say, the sword that came with Deathstroke way back when. That was a floppy mess. This is a really well done sword. And then he has an effect part to simulate his water styles, which you saw with the back. You just slide the sword up between the 2 pieces. Between the pieces. It's a neat design, but I wish there was some kind of instruction for it, because it doesn't quite line up just right, but it does hold on there. So I am impressed with it. I kind of hope they come out with one with a flame style too, which would go really well with later episodes of the show. Tanjiro himself is looking pretty nice. They got his scar here. I wouldn't have minded a little extra paint on that as well, just for some highlights. His eyes look really good. If you ever watch the show, they do such a good job on his eyes, how the eyes look on there. They did a very nice job with the earrings too. That could have been a cop-out, and they didn't. Articulation is on the sad side. I'll go ahead and say it. Single jointed elbows. If it barely any butterfly joint. Almost no ab crunch. Neck can move around. I mean, the portrait's decent. The pants and the folds, the folds of the clothes, that looks really well done. The single jointed knee is hidden really well, and the legs are not popping off like Nezuko's were. These are actually using the more standard McFarlane hip system as opposed to the ball and socket, so they're toleranced really well. Has a bit of an ankle rocker, and does have toe pivot, and he balances fairly decent. Like I said, you saw before I had him in an action pose before. Ooh, let's see if we can go with minimal editing with today's video. This is going pretty smooth. You know, I can have him stand pretty decent. Action poses are limited because of the limited articulation. I'm also not a fan of his... I get why they gave him the simple face sculpt. I really think he should have either been with a more serious expression or an alternate head with a battle face. Because you got this bright-eyed look with a semi-grin on there, and he's sitting here doing his final attacks, which, when you watch the show, he gets pretty into his fights. When he starts using these final attacks, he is not smiling. He is very much into his battles. He does hold the katana very well. No looseness on there. Just before, I was trying to get him to do a two-handed grip, which he really can't do, and that's kind of a shame. I would have liked maybe a little bit of cut in here so his arms could, you know, get closer together. Kind of like how Valiverse does with their female figures. Right? Even though he doesn't have butterfly joints, he lets their hands cross over, and that I think really would have benefited for this. So, again, this is not a line I am personally collecting. I am more getting this for my daughter. It's just, and it's sufficient. You know, I never handled his My Hero figures. They didn't quite do it for me. I know he's also got some figures for the 7 Deadly Sins and Vox Machina. I'm gonna say it, Todd. Just don't do the anime stuff. Stick with your wheelhouse. The Spawn figures, the DC figures, they're awesome. The Western style stuff, it looks great. The anime stuff your figures just don't do well with it. I've been seeing those Bandai of America versions, the ATX stuff over there, like $16. They're a much smaller scale. I am very curious of them. Is this gonna be the last figure I get from this line? I'm not sure. I know there's a third one. Zenizu. There we go. Had hit the button. Zenizu. He's the third character from this line who's could probably be very similar to Tanjiro. I don't know if my daughter wants me to get him or not. If she does want him, then you will see him on the channel. But let me know what you guys. Tell me what you think. You know, are you guys collecting the McFarlane stuff? Do you want me to review the third figure? That's what the comment section is down below. My overall assessment, it's not. I don't think it's a figure that is. If you're a big action figure collector like I am, with Mezcos, with Revoltex, this is a step back. I mean, if you're a diehard Demon Slayer fan, go ahead and give this a try. I really, again, I am that close to wanting to check out that smaller scale one because it's got the figure. God, what is his name? He wears a boar's head. Inosuke. Yeah, they've got him, and he looks hyper-articulated. I may pick that up as a one-shot. We'll see. But, yeah. I personally say save your money on this unless you are a hardcore Demon Slayer fan. Or if you are the parent of a hardcore Demon Slayer fan and you want to get them a present. So. But, until next time, I don't think we're going to do pictures on this guy. We're just going to set this guy through. And, until next time, as always, take care. Peace.